But I think that Global is going to win this. One, because it's 3 servers combined, so it's not just Global, it's also Korean and Line. Second, like I said earlier in the video, pretty much almost all of the JP players in my Discord server have quit. So Global guys are still going very strong. In treasure mode, the JP players pretty much quit. So anyway,
hey guys, so it's just an angry kid speaking right now. World Clash has finally ended, and I wanted to give my opinion. Was it good? Was it bad? And I want to give a warning right there. It is my personal opinion, so please don't behead me in the comments. I'd appreciate it. So we had the Japanese version against the rest of the world, so Global, Korea and Line. And the winner was expected to get an additional legend pool and plus an early access, which I want to point out means that everybody's gonna get it eventually, of that sweet beautiful ace. And that part was nice because it adds a stake and it's a way to motivate players from both sides, which I think is essential in an event like this. So as you can see, the final score was 5-0 RIP Global, and that's pretty much an epic win for JP. So regarding the community rewards, they stopped at 100 million, and we ended up, as you can see, having 1.7 billion points. We did 17 times the original goals and got no additional rewards, which is disappointing considering the fact that on JP we had a Big Mom event where we beat the original goal and they added further rewards including legend pools. But here we literally beat the goal a few hours in and nothing was added. I know they had no reason to, but come on, like next time add a much harder goal. This event 100% deserved more than the initial goals we got. I would have been fine with like 10 extra gems for hitting 1 billion or something like that. But anyways, I want to say a huge GG to everybody that has participated. And I gotta say, I pretty much saw that coming because JP players they're just more savage, you know. And in terms of percentage, we got 53 against 47 on Luffy, 55 against 45 on Blackbeard, 56 against 44 on Akainu, and 52 against 48 on Sabo. Finally 50-50 on Jinbei, so I guess JP had a slight advantage there. And now I'm gonna show my personal ranking, what I did. And I want to point out that I only pulled World Clash Luffy, so I had a 8.75 multiplier on Blackbeard and a 6.5 multiplier on all others. And so I did 236 worldwide, 4,556 on Luffy, 147 on Blackbeard, 5,155 on Akainu, 103 on Sabo, and 117 on Jinbei. So that gets me a total of 7 legends, including the extra one we get from winning the event. And as you can see, that's a huge rip right there. I missed extra legends by only a few places. And basically what happened is I pretty much goofed strategically and spent most of my time on Blackbeard. And that was my biggest mistake because obviously I overestimated myself, because I pretty much got on a rank tier of people mainly possessing 2 or 3 boosters, and there was absolutely no way I could compete with them unless I just focused only on Blackbeard, which I didn't want to do because I wanted to get more legends. So I stopped playing Blackbeard. I was at rank 115, and it was like 15 hours before the end of the event, and unfortunately I didn't know it, but I was already dead. And the time I had lost made me unable to catch up on the few thousand points I needed to rank on Akainu, Sabo and Jinbei. It's a shame to see I was so close, not in 1 but in 3 zones, And then it's even a bigger rip when you know like that basically the hardest grind is from 5,000 to 100 and it's all wasted. I could have easily do like 3,000 on each and on each zones. This could have been really easy, but to be so close from 100 when you know it's that much harder makes it feels bad. It feels bad. And at the end, I just saw that because I didn't understand at first that I got kicked out of Sabo, but at the end, apparently there was a lag on ranking pages, so your actual rank would not appear properly. And for me, it displayed 5,100 on Luffy and 96 on Sabo, and that's why I focused on Luffy, even though I could have. Now, no, but I could have just focused on Sabo and Akainu to secure my place, but yeah, what can you do? But I mean, it's pretty much my fault. This is what you get for trying to clutch in every single zones, and when you're trying to clutch everywhere, you're not prepared for eventualities that could happen at the very end. And guys, I just never learn and always get disappointed because I'm just too greedy, you know. I aim for 10 and here I am at 6 when I could have got 9 if I was just less greedy, you know. But hey, you know what? I'm gonna make the same mistake next time, I know for sure. But anyways, for the fun, I actually calculated how many points I would have got if I had all boosters. So basically, when you do the calculation, depending on the multiplier I got, that would have roughly get me to 627,000, which is top 30. So yeah, I do have a dream, guys. I have a dream that one day I'll finally get all boosters in an event. It will come, don't worry. I still have hope. So remember when I said that JP players were just more savage, just more hardcore players in global, you know. And for the global players that didn't want to believe me, here's the the evidence for all you guys in denial. So I just compared the points and ranking, and yeah, this is the definite proof that JP is more competitive than global, you know. So this would be my ranking if I was to be on global. This is insane. So I would have got 1,107 on Luffy, 16 on Blackbeard, 644 on Akainu, and this is a good one. I would have been 5th place on Sabo and 10th place on Jinbei. I want to say, keep in mind, I only had 1 booster. If you had 3, it's almost freaking double points. Dude, global is just a walk in the park, like seriously. But man, my rewards would have been so lit if I was on global. And you know what, this actually might make me come back to global just to see, well, how I can do on the rankings, you know. Considering the rewards, my only problem for worldwide ranking is that the first players only get 3 legends. This is pretty bad because you get first in the entire world and just get 1 extra legend and 10 gems. I mean, bro, what? I would have given 3 legends to the top 100 at least and more stuff to the top 3. And for the regional ranking, specific tomes are just they're just meh, you know. USBs and gems would have been better, and I'm sure if they'd done that, more people would have gone for different zones at the same time, you know. And also, to me, the length of the event was almost perfect. 3 days of intense farming coupled with 2 chill days of sabotage it's perfect. It's perfect because you can rest during the 2 days and made it less tedious than for say treasure map, you know. But that last 33 hours of half stamina is bullshit. This is way too much. and the half stamina should have only been for the last hours, not 33. But people, people would obviously go hard on half stamina because it's just much more profitable gem wise, and adding 9 more hours to the already very long 24 is just plain sadistic, man. And also, I really like the initial idea of sabotage, but it needs to be balanced, because the fact that you have a set amount of runs makes it obvious that the side with the biggest amount of players is going to have an advantage, because overall they can just do more runs than the other side. So yeah, it's just unfair on that part. And the other big issue I have is that we couldn't trace anything. We couldn't trace the points. We couldn't trace how many points we lost. I don't think so. I didn't see it anywhere. We couldn't trace how many players actually did sabotage or anything. And this makes it a little bit shady, because this obviously can lead to some legit conspiracy theories, because there's no way to know. There's no way to know what actually happened during those 24 hours, and actually how many points we lost, and who made us lost that many points, who did. But I would not get into that to avoid unnecessary arguments with the global players. But I just, to end this part, want to say that if you have something to hide, then it probably means that it's wrong. Regarding the drops, they were awesome. They were awesome. So I ended up having 1,507 tomes, 51 USBs, 8 guaranteed USBs, so many cotton candies, and so much EXP. That was very satisfying, and I'm very happy about that. And now it's time for the rant. So this Sugo Fest was an insult. This was one of the worst Sugo Fest we had this year, and I could not let that happen and say nothing. So we had an old gold Sugo Fest in 3 parts with discounted first multis, so all good so far. And the rest of the rates of legends is as usual, but we're not here for that. The only target was those 3 world-class boosters, and their rates was 1% each, which is extremely bad. And I think you had a 7% chance of getting them on every 3 multis you did, which is still bad because you got all the other legends and your chance to have a legend is just higher. It's bad. They definitely should have been guaranteed somewhere. Like, this is dumb. You have 3 to get 3 when they're each at 1%. It's just bullshit. Let's just skip the legends, because basically I think that, I'm sorry to say that, but if you're here on this Sugo Fest and pull to get legends, I'm sorry, but you're kind of dumb. But regarding the red boosted units, just pretty much old useless units. They were abusive boosted. And if you look at a multi-pool, it was pretty much an orgy of old characters from the freaking Stone Age. It was a huge trap. I done 7 multis and I got Luffy twice. And they're always gonna be that guy who did 12 and got absolutely nothing. So I could see some guys going at me and be like, oh, well, you should have just skipped the Sugo Fest if you know it was that bad. Well, let me be clear. Most people who pulled on the Sugo Fest, they were totally aware that this was a huge trap, and yet they still pulled. And you know why? Because they wanted to play the freaking game. I'll compare with Treasure Map on this one. So basically, the Treasure Map Sugo Fest are pretty much traps. 40% silver, around 1% chance to pull the Treasure Map boosters. But hey, the rare recruits are actually good. So you can say, oh, I actually got that unit for the limit break, or oh, I actually got that new character. I haven't seen many people after this World Clash Silver Fest being like, oh hey, I rambled my Fossa or some shit. And if you don't feel like pulling on Treasure Map Silver Fest, just don't. It's fine. There will be another next month. Treasure Map is going to be a bit more tedious, but your objective is clear and doable. You just need to get 1 million points and your character is maxed out. You have everything. It's all that matters. You could go for 5 million for the extra legend, but this is just, yeah, but it's just more effort without the boosters. It's gonna be long, but you could do it. And after 5 million, there's no reason to continue. Absolutely no reason to continue. You're done with the treasure map. And most people don't want to rank without the boosters because it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. It's just harder because you do twice more work for half the amount the full boosted team will do. People have their issues with treasure map, and I get that, but what I mean is like you get your own chance at it every month, and you can pretty much decide how much dedication you can put in each treasure map. If for one treasure map you just want to skip it and just do your 1 million, it's fine. And if you find that, okay, I have time this week, I might pull, oh, I got lucky, I might just go ham on this treasure map. It's your chance. If you want tablets, you'll get them eventually. Like, this is an event that comes every month. There's no reason to panic about that. And plus, you can pretty much buy treasure map characters now. So if you don't want to do the treasure map, you can just not do it. It's fine, it's totally fine. But with World Clash, it's the first time we get it, and I'm sure we won't get such an event for a while, which in a way is perfectly good, because if it was frequent, it will instantly lose its appeal. And when I get into such a situation, it's something I do not want to skip, and it's something I want to pull my soul in. Like, really, I was really pumped up for this event, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. And now putting a disgusting Sugo Fest because you know I'm going to pull anyways is downright evil. This is just spitting in my face for just wanting to participate in an event I was excited about. It's just a huge dick move in my opinion. Oh well, you can still participate, you don't need the boosters, blah 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 blah. Yeah, of course I can still play, but I want to make most of this experience, you know. And having to grind like 8 times more than people who basically got more lucky than I did is not as fun. It's frustrating to me at least. And the goal here is just not a set amount of points. It's to do as much points as possible so your team can actually win. And I really was dedicating into this event, and it's just ridiculous how unbalanced it was. Just because of that freaking Sugo Fest. It's just a Sugo Fest, guys. No Sugo Fest, no boosted unit. And it's a fact, people were discouraged for not having the boosted characters. And it's a shame they couldn't fully participate in such a rare event. You can't blame them for not having the boosters and not pulling on such a trap banner. It's Bandai's fault, you know. I know on the global side that the ranking was actually easier, but something else might have played into that. Obviously, you know, Asian players, they're more hardcore, we all know that, that's a fact. But there's also the fact that on the Japanese side, they still have chimp gems, which is the most unfair part about it. So the fact that some people could just pull until they get all booster is a problem, because now it actually injured other people's experience. The vast majority who won't or can't buy the ridiculous amount of gem this represent just fall behind because there's no way to compete against that. How is it fair when the dude can just do 15 multis and get the characters he wants and just wrecks you, and you just can't do something like that? You don't want to spend that much on the game, which is totally fine, or you just don't have enough financial resources to offer yourself that many multis, so you're just stuck with your 1 or less boosters because this Sugo Fest will just trap. Like, you need to get extremely lucky to get them. And even in 3 multis, like you should expect not to have them. That's the bad part about it. So a guy that does 15 multis, he is very likely to get all of them, and it just beats you. Could just like buy his gem cheaper, and that way he just break you in the ranking. I'm not saying that makes 70% of why Japanese players won, but I'm saying that it played into it, and it's downright unfair. It is unfair. And so the world class unit should have been way more boosted than that, because this bullshit. We're not doing a treasure map every month or something like that. We're on a one-time event, and you should give the chance to every player. 1% chance with trash rare recruits on the side is just unacceptable. It's just unacceptable. They should have been guaranteed from at least the second multi and onward. I'm so angry about that. And also, like, we have a world clash. It's actually people competing against other people, and it's unacceptable that more than half of the outcome of the class is going to be based on the luck of every participant. Like, really, not everybody can get everything in 30 gems. You can't expect every player to get that. So if you need to get 15 multis to get all players, obviously the side that had more whales is going to win. It's not even down to farming or effort. No, it's just down to who's gonna get more lucky. This is, as a victory, this doesn't feel good. This doesn't feel good, because you know you won just because one side just got more lucky, because they could pull more, and I feel bad for that. It's just not fair. I would have liked to see how many multiple were done on the JP servers compared to the global one, and I'm sure it's not negligible. But nonetheless, you shouldn't have to go so deep into an event just to be useful to your side. This Sugo Fest to me is just a huge middle finger to the players, and this didn't feel like a 100 million Sugo Fest at all. And you see Bandai be like, oh yeah, we're so thankful for our players and shit like that, but you can't say that and at the same time throw such a shit at our faces. This is so hypocritical. You can't just do that and expect us to sit on our ass and be happy with that. At least I won't. They basically played us, and I don't like to be treated that way as a customer. And obviously, I know me making this video, which is gonna get 50 views, isn't gonna change a lot. But unfortunately, the lack of communication with players from Japan does not help us have a stronger voice. We actually need to complain about this stuff. How do you think Global managed to get 30 gem all gold Sugos on the treasure maps? Do you think it was actually from doing 12 multiples, getting wrecked and cry in the corner? No, actually people complained and said that was utter bullshit to have some Sugo Fest like that. And Bandai were like, oh shit, we can't abuse that anymore. Yeah, we shouldn't let that happen. We shouldn't let that happen. And what would piss me off even more would be if they have a much better Sugo Fest right after that. Now that would be the icing on the cake, because now Bandai, that you've drained all my gems on this absolutely terrible Sugo Fest. I've used over 500 gems for this event, by the way, and now you expect me to pull on the Sugo Fest that obviously should have been the one we should have got in the first place. And the fact that all of that would have been intelligently prepared in advance is just, at this point, taking us for fools. This is bullshit, and I won't let them get away with that. Even if it's, I don't care, even if it's 2 times legend rate with, I don't know, what be Marco boosted, I won't spend anything on a Sugo Fest like that after what they've done to me. This is after what they've done to us. This This would be ridiculous. This is what I'm talking about. You can't let them just play with you and just be like, oh yeah, by the way, here's the real Sugo Fest, guys. Whoops, forgot that one, you know. Yeah, it's time. Oh, you have no gems because you spent everything on this awesome event. Oh, never mind. Just buy some gems, mate. It's all good. It's all good, you know. No, don't act like nothing happened, guys. Letting that kind of shit fly is basically what encourages Bandai to continue, guys. No, stop, really. Another point I want to bring up, and this would wrap this up because this video is way too long already, is the point system in this ranking. It's dumb. It's just dumb. It's just dumb. Again, you can't have competitive and luck at the same time. It's just completely stupid. It's unfair, and I would hope never to see that kind of shit again. Oh my god, I'm finally done. So, as you've noticed, I have very mixed feelings about this event. I really like the idea of this event, but the Sugo Fest and the point system just made it so bad that I'm gonna have this salt in my mouth for a long time, really. And it's not even when I'm recording this video, I haven't even pulled yet. I could get 6 new legends. I don't care. You could argue, like, you could say, oh yeah, Imperial's just salty because he didn't get all 3 boosters. He just salty. No, even if I had all 3, I would still feel bad because I've seen some Sugo Fest videos and I'm like, dude, when I'm seeing these videos, I just see someone who basically knows he's getting wrecked, who basically knows he's got to stop, but he's just hopeful that he could pull this character so he can actually enjoy this awesome event that was presented to him. I feel bad because this is just an insult. To me, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. You're like, okay, you could miss that event that will probably never come back in a freaking while, or you can pull in that extremely bad Sugo Fest we put in purpose so we could have more money, because we're expecting to have another much better Sugo Fest right after. But this, you don't know, but hey, that's what we do. This is bad. This is bad. No, because they know the majority of players is gonna pull. They know it. Even us knew it. When I was pulling, I knew what I was doing was bad. I knew what I was doing was just letting Bandai have the last word, but I couldn't just make a video and skip this event. Like, for me, participating in this event was more important than getting wrecked on this Sugo Fest. And I think that tells a lot about the players, you know. We care more about playing the game than actually getting wrecked. And Bandai not acknowledging that and continue screwing with us. This is the last straw, guys. This is why I want to make this video, make my point, so we could not let that kind of shit happen for next time, really. Anyways, that's the end of the video. I'm sorry I dragged this for so long. I'm basically gonna appear just like a salty guy now, but I could just be like, oh hey, I got wrecked on the Sugo Fest, I'm just gonna quit. But I actually want to make that, instead of doing that, I actually want this game to be better because I love this game. And yeah, I actually want to do my part so the experience is better for everybody. And I kind of want to pass this message so we can all do that together. But yeah, that's my final point, guys. I'll have my polls in another videos. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.